Look at these trees, sis. They're not asking permission to change. They're owning their transformation, and it's beautiful. Just like no two autumn or fall leaves are the same, every gray hair journey is uniquely beautiful. Your silver story, girl, it's a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. And that's what makes this transition so powerful. But you know that society has a tendency to try to dim our shine, telling us to cover up or resist that natural transformation. Well, girl, what I can tell you is that we're not about to let anybody dull our sparkle. It's time to embrace your natural transition, just like these trees embrace fall. We're gonna get into these tips and show you how to transition into your natural beauty with pride, confidence, and a whole lot of elegance. There's a whole lot of good stuff to look forward to, but there comes with that a few challenges as well. And the first thing to do after you've made that big choice, now it's time to actually transition. We already mentioned a little bit about the growth process in video number 1. Now, some of you are gonna choose the big chop, but some of you are gonna decide to go cold turkey. So your transition process could literally, sister, be anywhere between 6 months and 2 years. And it all depends on your starting length and your hair color. And I know that 6 months to 2 years probably sounds like a lifetime.
When I was growing out my gray hair, that I was gonna just long-term transition. I wanted to fully embrace the process. And it wasn't so much that I wanted to hold on to long hair. I wanted to feel the journey. It was okay that if it took however long it took, it was okay. I was okay with the line of demarcation. I still just styled my hair however I wanted to style it. And I just really felt like doing a long-term transition was gonna be better for me as far as growing out the gray hair.
You're definitely gonna see a distinct line where your natural hair color meets the colored hair. Your natural hair may not be uniform, meaning it might not have all of this silver when you're first growing your hair out. So expect to see a mix of white, salt and pepper, silver, and your original hair color. And the final shade can take literally months to eventually reveal itself. And just like autumn leaves, no two heads of hair are alike. You are unique, girl, and so is your gray hair pattern.
Because I have salt and pepper, that means that not all of my strands are white. And actually there's like variations in shades. So I have a very white patch in the front, and then it's more salt and peppery and gray, and then very, very dark underneath in the back. That's part of your style, you know. That's the universe giving you some extra creative leeway. And you know, if I flip my hair on one side, there's more gray. If I flip my hair, part my hair on the other side, maybe a little bit less gray, but it's looking more white or silvery. I think it's great that it's not just all white. So everybody's gray hair is almost as individual as a fingerprint, I would like to say, because I mean, I very rarely see any gray that looks exactly the same in color or texture. It's growing in how she wants to grow in. It's like watching the leaves change in fall. It's very beautiful, it's spectacular, it's a show you don't want to miss.
Texture changes are a must to identify. Everybody has several different textures in their hair. Your hair literally may feel different as it's growing out. If you are going the cold turkey route, new styling techniques may very well be necessary to manage that changing texture. And because of this, your hair care routine definitely may need to be adjusted.
My general basic hair care routine didn't really change that much for me. And I think it's because I was coloring darker, so there wasn't a harsh line of demarcation between my colored hair and my gray hair growing in. So I didn't have a lot of tangling. There wasn't really a lot of health issues with the hair because I was just doing color deposits. For my colored hair, I wouldn't say that there was that much of a difference in texture. I feel like the colored hair was drier. And I also feel like the porosity of the colored hair was more medium to high porosity, whereas my uncolored treated hair, it seems like lower porosity. But I feel like my silver hair, as it was coming in, was like smoother and more moisturized, and the colored hair was a little bit drier looking, in my opinion. While growing out my gray hair, my products didn't really change that much. I was already using a lot of products that didn't have color or dyes in it. And once I really made the decision to go gray, I made absolutely certain that my products were white or clear colored. And if they did have any color, that it wouldn't leave like any unwanted deposit on my hair.
Newer products, in addition to or in place of the ones that you are using, may definitely need to be added and or switched out depending on the changes that you experience with your new hair. Regular trims can definitely help manage your transition and keep your hair looking very healthy. I recommend, as a professional stylist, that you get a trim at least every 6 to 8 weeks. And I don't recommend that you go beyond every quarter. I always recommend to my clients every time the season changes. So some of my clients only come in every 3 months, but I don't recommend you going beyond 3 months when you're transitioning to gray hair. Because you want to make sure that you're trimming as ultimately and as often as possible. And it gives the hair just a cleaner and more modern look regardless of how you're wearing your hair. And those regular trims also help to blend that demarcation line. Remember, the transition is a journey, and the self-compassion that you have for yourself is the ultimate key. If you're feeling a little bit of optimism, especially in the beginning, you might want to resort to root touch-up kits that can cover up gray hair regardless of what the color is. But if you're not confident in the beginning, instead of going backwards to actually get more color, you can maybe use those like around your hairline or in your parting area, just to kind of cover up temporarily so that you can move your process along a little bit better with the transition of your gray hair. If you have a section of hair where you part in the center or on the side, using the mascara wands and all of that, just to kind of give you a little bit of temporary coverage. If you have a major event you need to go to and you don't want those roots just like poking out and sticking out, you can use those techniques to help you cover temporarily. A little zigzag party can definitely help you blend the colors as well. Definitely deep condition regularly to manage those texture changes, so that you can keep that cuticle layer smooth throughout the hair shaft. Keep the texture balanced as much as possible so that you don't see a lot of a difference in your texture from the natural hair or your pigmented hair. And that will help you keep the old hair and the new hair healthy all at the same time. The pixie cut is the quickest way that you can transition. It showcases your new growth effectively, like you have no more color treated hair on your head when you just cut it off, and either you go with a TWA, which is a teeny weeny afro, or you go with a pixie cut. And most of all, it's very low maintenance. And the next one is a bob cut, because a bob cut kind of helps you get there a little bit faster. And it's a classic cut that looks good on almost every face shape. It can be styled straight or wavy, and it really helps to blend the various hair colors that you might be seeing on the gray hair transition. And when we talk about layer cut, when you add more layers to the hair, you're gonna break up that demarcation line to create more of like a highlighted look. Remember, all of this depends on the length of your hair, and you have to consult with a professional stylist so that they can help you understand how these cuts can give you that look on your gray hair transition. And one thing about layer cuts is good for adding a lot more texture and a lot more movement to your hair. And it also works well with various lengths of hair. Some good hairstyles that you can transition with also are updos and also braids. You can really incorporate various different shades of colors when your professional braider is braiding your hair to help with the transition. So if you have like that big dark demarcation line, they can come in and add maybe some of your darker hair and maybe either some lighter browns or more some medium browns and some auburns to give you that illusion that you have a multi-tonal effect with the braids at the end of the hair shaft, but then you still have your natural gray hair growing in at the roots. And these techniques can work with either straight, wavy hair, and even more curly and or kinkier textures of hair. These particular styles, of course, can only work well with longer hair. They can hide that demarcation line and they can help you create a blended look with your multi-tonal hair. These hairstyles are amazing and can really help with transitioning. Curly or wavy styles also are amazing on the transition. And when I say curly or wavy styles, I mean more texture styles like rod sets, twist sets, two-strand twists, Zulu knots. All those particular styles can help disguise color differences. They add more volume and texture, and they can help really make the transition less noticeable, especially if you have longer hair.
Some of my favorite styles that I would wear during my gray hair grow out would be, I would blow dry my hair and then put them in like medium-sized twists. And I would style the twists like in a bun or two buns or a ponytail. Sometimes I would even wear wash and goes. And the funny thing about my wash and goes is that during my transition, my gray would maybe be like a few inches. And because I had so much colored hair left, when I do a wash and go with the shrinkage, the colored hair would just almost completely mask my gray hair. So it almost looked like I wasn't transitioning at all. So shrinkage was, I don't know, kind of my friend, but kind of not as far as growing out my gray. So ponytails, buns, twists, I would still blow dry my hair, and that would be when my color grow out would be the most obvious, because you could see exactly where the color starts and stops, like the gray hair stops and the color starts. So I would just rotate through those styles. And then there was like a year or two where I was wearing a lot of buns. Like I would just lightly blow dry my hair, throw it in medium-sized twist, and just put it up in a loose bun, and that was the style. So your style is always going to be your friend. So this is how you can kind of manipulate things. You can share when you want to or not, based on how you style your hair. So if you have high shrinkage, you can hide gray for eternity as you're gradually trimming off the colored hair, because it's going to shrink back on there and kind of hide her. She's your little secret until you're ready to blow her out and look, I'm a salt and pepper goddess. So
when you have shorter hair and your hair is like more impacted, maybe like a TWA or even a little bit longer than the TWA, rod sets are amazing because you can really only see the gray around, your hairline. You can't see the gray within your inner perimeter, or even if you have a big afro. So you're really only dealing with having to see your grow out process, especially if you have a thicker head of hair. Now, if we're dealing with a thinner head of hair, then that's totally different. But a thicker, medium to thicker head of hair, you can only see the gray hair around your hairline and not necessarily throughout the midsection of your head. So to sum it up, work with your cuts, work with your texture styles. Those techniques are going to be amazing and really help you have a lot more confidence in your style as you're growing out your gray hair. There are so many products that can help you along your transition process. And the very first one that I used to talk about all the time is the purple shampoo. But I have to be honest, I've slightly moved away from the purple shampoos. Number one is because the company that I love, their purple mask, they don't sell it anymore. So I don't know why they discontinued that mask, but I love that purple mask. There is some times where I feel like I need a purple shampoo and conditioner. And it really just helps you neutralize any brassiness and any yellow tones that you see in your hair. You should not use the purple shampoo in your regular regimen. Your hair will tend to start looking purple. I'll never tell you not to buy the purple shampoos and conditioners. This one right here is a little bit more drying, and that's why I would never recommend it, because I wouldn't use it on my hair and I wouldn't even use it on my clients' hair. So I still highly recommend the AG Hair Purple Shampoo and Conditioner because it's very moisturizing and it removes any yellowing if you have an extensive problem with yellowing.
I have tried purple products in the past. I think I had mentioned a purple shampoo and conditioner that I had used in some of my videos. And I found that I don't really need purple or blue shampoos because my gray doesn't get yellow. And I think it doesn't get yellow because I'm not on any medications. I'm not around anybody that smokes. I don't use products that deposit yellowy colors, and I'm not around a lot of pollution, so I don't have any yellow to offset. So I haven't really been using the purple products. And I noticed that the purple shampoo and conditioner that I got, they're not very moisturizing. So
I would highly recommend a clarifying product on your hair. Now, clarifying shampoos, some of them still have a lot more sulfate in them. My go-to now are these 3 steps right here with the Maison 276. And I really do believe, because I've been using this product on a regular basis, even though I'm relaxed, I used to use the purple shampoo and or the purple mask I would use after my relaxer. But I find even since I've been using this on a regular basis, when I relax my hair, I'm only using this particular product to remove any yellowing that I might see on my hair after relaxing. I don't resort to the purple shampoos and conditioners anymore after relaxing, because I really truly believe that I use the Maison 276 on a regular basis. And the first is the clarifying, because each step of this particular product is going to moisturize your hair from step 1 all the way to step 3. And beyond that step, the multi-purpose botanical oil is going to help moisturize the hair as well. And then the Revive, which is for your hair and scalp, is a repair serum. It's going to help moisturize your hair. Since I've been using these products, starting with the clarifying, it removes all the debris and impurities that might have gotten in my hair from just like the element, because I stay out in the sun a lot when it's hot. And you can use step number 1 at least once a week to help you keep the impurities and the debris out of your hair. And it really helps to prevent that hair from getting dull, from getting brassy looking, and it really helps you not have to resort to using as much purple shampoos and conditioners. I'm gonna say I don't use a lot of products in my hair. I'm either using the Maison 276 or either I'm using the Design Essential product in my hair. I love their moisturizer conditioners, and I also love their sulfate-free shampoos too. But Maison 276 is my go-to, especially in the shower when I want to rinse my hair and I don't necessarily have to shampoo it. But we have various videos on that particular product, and you can watch both of those here. A leave-in conditioner is really, really good to use if you want to keep some more moisture in your hair as well. But I also use the Maison 276, the 3rd step, the Restore. I use a little pea-sized amount of this as my leave-in conditioner. You definitely want to make sure that you're using a heat protectant. If you're curling your hair, if you're flat ironing your hair, it shields the hair from damage during heat styling. It's very important because gray hair can be a little bit more vulnerable. As you're transitioning and you know you're working with these 2 different textures, you got your gray hair, your natural hair, and then you got your color treated hair. Be aware of that gray hair, that you're giving it a little bit of extra added protection. One of the most important things I think as you're transitioning is providing moisture to the hair every single day. My professional opinion is that on your gray hair, you should be using an oil moisturizer and not a cream moisturizer. You got to make sure that you're using it sparingly. So always start with a little bitty pea-sized amount in your hand. Rub it through and then just rub it throughout your hair. Never start with like a nickel size or a dime size. You want to start with a little bit because a little bit goes a long way. Depending on your texture, they can have a tendency to be a little bit heavier and also weigh your hair down a little bit too much, depending on the type of hairstyle that you are wearing. But I can put as much oil as I want to in my hair because I don't want it to move. I just want it to shine and I want it to not be dry. But if you're wearing longer hair and you want it to move and you want it to bounce, I highly recommend that you only start with a small amount because a little bit, again, goes a long way when it comes to oil moisturizers and shine serums. I know I keep coming back to this line of products, but if you're not using this product, I want you to make sure that you purchase this product. In the description section, there will be a link and you can get a 20% off discount. And also, it's sold on Amazon. I can't give you the discount on Amazon, but I sure can give you the discount if you go directly to the Maison 276 website. So I'll link that below.
My shampooing process stayed the same. I still am able to use the same moisturizers. I rotate through a few leave-in conditioners and oils and sometimes hair grease even. So the products didn't really change that much, just making sure that I wasn't going to use anything that was going to leave a color deposit on my gray hair.
But ultimately, I want you to know that individual results may vary. Make sure that you're using good products with good ingredients on your gray hair. You're not working for your stylist. Your stylist is working for you. She's helping you transition, and what you don't want to do is have her talk you into coloring your hair when your goal is transitioning your hair. Bring inspiration photos to your stylist so she can understand your hair goals. I knew what I wanted to look like when I was transitioning, especially if you're going cold turkey, that you are transitioning how you want to transition and that you are properly communicating to your hairstylist the direction that you want to go with your cut, with your texture, and the look you think is best for you. Have that one-on-one communication through a FaceTime or a video chat so that the busyness of the salon is not overtaking the conversation, and that she has the time to spend with you so that he or she can understand your hair goals. You know, adding those pictures to the mix really helps. Talk to your professional stylist and be open about your goals and your concerns. You're gonna get a lot of reactions when it comes to gray hair, okay? You're gonna get people that think you look old. You're gonna get your hairstylist, your friends, your family members, your significant others that think that you need to cover up your hair. Whatever your opinions are and ideas about the way you want to look, follow that first.
Some of the reactions that I received when I first started my transition was shock, mostly. Most people that I come across would look at my face and say, "You have such a baby face. Is your gray hair real?" And when I first started my transition, I think that was at the beginning of gray hair trending as far as people wearing gray extensions and whatnot. So I think that kind of snuck in with that, and people, they either assume that it was, oh, she's riding the gray hair trend that the young people are doing, or, oh my gosh, you have a baby face. Is your gray hair real? Why are you doing that? I'm doing it because it's fun and because it's me. I didn't get a lot of pushback growing my hair out. I got more shock than anything. I think people felt like I had a baby face. What was I doing with all this gray hair? And most of my gray hair was concentrated in the front, like around the front perimeter in the bang. So it was really noticeable straight off the bat. And so mostly shock, not a lot of negative feedback on growing out my gray hair.
Always remember that people's idea of you, they come from their own insecurities and or societal conditioning that they've developed from the outside world. Their opinions reflect more about them than about you. Just have you some responses ready to go. Just tell them, girl, I'm embracing my natural beauty. This journey is important to me. You don't have to like it. I appreciate your concern, but I'm already happy with the choice I've made.
My YouTube name is Wild Thunder Child. So I'm fairly hard-headed by nature. So I'm gonna do what I want to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody. And usually if I get any weird vibe, I'll just dig my heels in.
Educate and inform people. Share your reasons for transitioning. You might have irritation with your scalp with hair color, medical condition. Like, you can educate and inform people, but you don't have to tell them everything. You don't really owe them an excuse.
I can't think of any really seriously negative reactions. And I guess it's because I'm not offended if people think that I look older, because I don't synonymize looking old with looking unattractive. I think people can be attractive at any age. So if people think I'm an older, good-looking woman, hey, I still think that's great.
Focus on your self-confidence. That's what's most important. Remind yourself of your reasons for this transition. Practice positive self-talk and affirmations that will help you along your gray hair transition. And set your boundaries, girl. Let them know that your opinions are not welcome here. Separate yourself from those who you know are negative about your gray hair transition.
If I can give you guys some inspiration watching to go gray, I would say do it when you're ready, and do it because you want to. And your natural gray hair doesn't mean that you've let yourself go. Your natural gray hair just means that you're loving yourself in your own natural way. And it's still beautiful, it's still attractive, it's still all the things.
And when you're leading by example, you got to know that your transition and your choice to actually just take the leap from color to gray, and you're inspiring others. And sharing your positivity can counteract anybody's negativity. And ultimately, just make sure that you celebrate your progress. Take pictures every 2 to 3 weeks or once a month, so that you can see the progression that you've made on this beautiful and amazing journey. Remember, your hair, your choice. Stay motivated, sister, throughout your entire journey. And when you're totally rocking your confidence, experiment with your look, which we're going to talk about extensively in video number 3. View this, girl, as an opportunity for your reinvention. Okay, girl, we have tackled the transition phase and you are doing amazing. The journey doesn't stop here. It's not all about hair. In our final video of this series, we're going to explore some key features and other head-to-toe aspects of this journey that will help you look more modern and not old. See you in the next one. Take care. Peace.